Here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Ruffino's on Highland Road. Welcome to the Friday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro, Jordan Kitchens in the studio. Troy Macker with us today. Bruce Marshall with us today. Chris Massaro with us today. Final Four weekend, and boy, a lot of stuff going on here locally with LSU big win last night that we're going to get to here in just a second. Flau'jae Johnson apparently on her way back to LSU for her final season. Jimmy, on your Bon Voyage show before you take a week's vacation. How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to get everything done. Yard's looking good.
Okay.
Got that.
I don't have to go over there and trim around the sidewalk while you're gone. I'm not going to do it. I'd send Max, but
yes, Max would. I like to manicure my lawn. Okay, tidiness is not your expertise, Mr. Hannegriff. So no, my lawn is just fine. I'll let you know when I need to take the garbage out. But my neighbor Jim's got that. So
you know what? I do a great job of taking care of my grass.
Charlie,
I do it with a telephone.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses. You stick to pop culture and movies. Okay?
I mowed all the grass I was going to mow in high school. I'm done with that.
I don't mind it. Knees hurt a little bit,
I like I said, I've mowed countless acres of grass. So I'm done with.
Did you?
That yes, about 4 to 5 acres a week at times while I was in high school.
Parents went out of town, and my grandmother lived next door to us, and so we, my dad cut that, and then we had a field behind us as well. I mean, we had a baseball field with a backstop, basketball. Charlie, football, but volleyball. It was kind of a backdoor, playground. Even you remember that thing, tetherball?
Yeah.
Tetherball. Okay.
Yeah, you could really hurt yourself with that thing.
Yeah, that's why I was popular. Yes. You pop somebody.
Things from the 70s and 80s.
You got to pop.
Things from the 70s and 80s that no longer exist.
Dirt bike trails, the whole thing, and so parents are like, man, Jimmy, we're proud of him. He cut the lawn. My grandmother said, I was that big boy, his friend. He had him out there doing it.
Glad you were delegating even back at
my dad had a keg of beer. I said, come on, all the beer you want to drink. Come take care of the grass.
It's a powerful inducement for sure.
Get it done, Charlie. I don't actually get my hands dirty a whole lot of time, but the grass is the only thing I can kind of compete in right now.
Got it. LSU wins last night against Oklahoma 2-0, and Kate Anderson, of course, is the story. A complete game shutout, LSU's first since 2018. Gave up 5 hits and 2 walks, 14 strikeouts, going the route. He beat Kyson Witherspoon, a projected first-round pick, who also pitched really well in this game.
139 pitches.
135.
135.
And I'm going to get to that in a second. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is the command that Anderson had on all of his pitches last night. The changeup was absolutely phenomenal. The curveball was really good. Even the first inning where Oklahoma loaded the bases, they didn't hit the ball particularly hard. You had a ground ball through the left side and then a roller that beat the shift to go along with a competitive pitch on a full count walk. And he pitched his way out of that. And after that, there weren't a whole lot of opportunities for Oklahoma to really get going. So you have your best pitcher coming off of what was his worst performance of the season, bounce back in a big way. And this is where you take the next step. Skip used to call this graduating. When he beat Texas 2 weeks ago. Okay, that's a top 10 team on the road, and Anderson beat him. He gave up 2 runs. He beat him. Beat another top 10 team on the road last night. This guy's a first-round pick on the other side. He beat him. I always said 2 things about teams. If you want to win a championship, number one, you better have an ace. I've yet to see a team win without what I call a bona fide ace. And the second thing is you're going to have to beat some aces along the way. You're not going to be able to just beat bad pitching. At some point, you're going to have to beat somebody that's good. And in 2 of the last 3 weeks, LSU's beat a top 10 team's ace on the road. And in this case, a first-round pick, a likely first-round pick. And Witherspoon was as advertised. He's really, really good. So now we get. I know that the pitch count police are out in full force today. This is
Well, I mean,
no. Let me talk, and I'll let you retort.
oh,
Okay,
hell,
because
I'll go on vacation right now. If you want me to.
I know.
Go ahead,
I know.
Charlie. I mean, you act like it's
you get to the seventh inning, and the guys, upwards of 90 plus pitches. Okay, so you send him out there, and Jay Johnson confirmed this after the game. If he gives up one more base runner, if he's ever got a pitch out of the stretch, he's coming out of the game. But what did Anderson do? He got stronger as the game went along. His velocity didn't really dip until the ninth, where it was down from 94 to maybe 92, 93. His breaking ball was still sharp. There are places where you can run pitch counts up that it's sort of irresponsible if you're trying to save bullpen because the game's out of hand, or if you're out of guys. If your next guy, besides the guy you got pitching, you just leave him in because you ain't got anybody else to put in. This was a case where Johnson had his bullpen locked and loaded. He's got two ace relievers. He's got a 2-run lead in the late innings on the road at a top 10 team. He wants to get this win. If he'd have thought that there was any chance that Anderson was compromised in any way, he would have taken him out of the game.
Compromise last night is one thing. Compromise later in the season is a completely different story.
I get that. And
who else is throwing 135 pitches?
135 pitches is a lot, okay? And he's got an extra day before next week.
Who else in the SEC is throwing 135 this year?
Probably nobody.
Okay.
Probably nobody. And if 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, a month from now, Anderson is
shows some fatigue,
then we'll ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
But in last night's game, I understand what Johnson was doing. He's like, I'm going to send you back out there. You give up one base runner, you're coming out of the game. He never gave up that base runner. The velocity didn't dip. He was adrenalized. I mean, he got some key punch outs to end some innings. I understand why the question is being asked, and it's a reasonable question to ask. But I also understand why he kept him in the game last night, and I didn't think that was not a pitcher that was laboring. That was not a pitcher that had lost his command. That was not a pitcher that had lost his velocity. I thought he was fine. A month from now, if that comes up, we'll see. But I understand why he kept him in the game, because that was about as in command as you could possibly be.
Since you won't let me interrupt, I understand. Do you want to paint the whole picture? You want to talk about the conditions?
The conditions were obviously pitcher friendly. It was a gusting.
So how does that affect your thoughts on all this?
Didn't think they hit a lot of balls hard. The hardest hit ball they hit was a foul ball in the eighth inning that the guy teed off on, and he got it out of the park foul. In fact, I lost track of the ball on TV. You couldn't really see it.
So,
I was waiting for the announcers because I literally didn't know.
It looked like it was going to be fair.
That was the hardest hit ball all night. The rest of the balls, there were some balls squared up in the first 3 innings that died. So it was absolutely like trying to hit through
two good pitchers with favorable pitching conditions. All right, that were sharp last night, and this is what because it wasn't a whole lot of threats as well.
There were not.
Okay,
no.
So I'm talking about the big picture about Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about winning championships.
Yeah,
we're talking about past a regular season game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, could you have trusted your bullpen a little bit more with these conditions?
Yes.
How does this? You cannot be at that stadium, see the conditions, which we all discussed off the air before they even throw the first pitch.
And we talked about it on the air a little bit too.
Okay. So how does that fit into the long-term effects? Because Johnson wanted to win the game.
Yes.
And leaving Anderson in gave him the best chance of winning that game. That's the first thing, okay? Okay, the pitch count, his velo, all this, he wanted to win the game, and he knew that gave him the best chance of winning the game. All right, so he wanted to win the game, put his team in the best position without risking the outcome of the game. But, how many pitchers throw 135? It does not happen.
No,
this is not normal. Mike Romano, John Lieber.
I'm not.
Regional between Tulane and South Alabama. It's not that era.
I'm not for 1 second going to pretend like this is something that happens.
Ben McDonald starting one game, closing the next in College Station.
That doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't happen anymore. And I know you get upset about the pitch count police, but
you do
this, they're coming.
It's a legitimate.
So if you don't care about them, don't worry about them.
No.
But you mentioned them.
I do care about them. If he was in there struggling, if his velocity was dropping, if his command was erratic, if he looked like he was laboring.
So if he shows no compromise in his form and velo that night, does that guarantee he's going to not compromise him later on?
It does not. It does not.
And that's the tricky part.
It also doesn't, I seen guys go out there and all of a sudden, their arm, something pops, something does whatever.
Of course. But he's not one of these crafty lefties,
No.
just kind of easy throw. I mean, he throws with some velo.
He does.
So,
and he was pretty good. Now, as far as winning the game, they got a 2-run lead. So you're 2 bad pitches away from, potential tie game. But
he could put the bullpen in, they could blow it in those conditions.
They could. So you asked if he trusts the bullpen. Does he trust the 2 guys he had available last night, Evans and Cowan? Yes. Cowan was up in the bullpen. If there's one base runner, Cowan's coming in the game. He's been lights out all year. He's won some high leverage games. So is Evans in Southeastern Conference play. If he wanted now, once you get past those 2 guys, it's a lot dicier. But those 2 guys were available.
Well, not only that, Anderson gave them the best chance to win last night, but this also saving those guys gives them the best chance to win tonight and tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
I mean, he is prioritizing this weekend, not just last night, but this weekend, because we talked about they got 2 dependable guys out of the bullpen. After that, it's been a little bit of a crapshoot, which is common for college baseball.
Yeah. And we were sitting there talking with a friend of mine watching the game while they could have added an insurance run in the 7th or the 8th, and you're like, boy, 3-0 feels a lot different than 2-0, and then you maybe take him out. But I would trust Zach Cowan or Kason Evans right now with a 1-run lead against anybody in the league. They've been that good. I'm not saying that they would definitely get out of it, but I would trust him. And this would be a lot different if they weren't available.
But he knows he's got him moving forward.
Yes, he does. No, it's a huge advantage. I thought the pitching matchups favored LSU in games 2 and 3 before the series started. Now, I think it favors them by a lot.
Cade Anderson, complete game, great, no doubt. It sets you up for it gets you the win, but sets you up for the rest of the series as well. But a little bit kind of. I hope it doesn't.
And I can't tell you that it's not. I want to be very clear. I understand why. I'm making a case for why he left him in.
I don't know. You follow the college baseball more than me, but is that the most pitches thrown by a pitcher this year? That you know of.
Yes. Yeah. It's the most pitches thrown by an LSU player in
research, man.
Since 2017.
You're looking at Rice Rio Grande and looking at the pitch count, huh?
What's 30 times 14? No, I'm sorry, 30 times. There's 16 teams in the league. 30 times 16, 480?
Yes.
I didn't have time to go look at 480 games this morning to see if anybody had thrown more than that, but I don't think so.
Rice and Rio Grande? No?
Probably not.
You don't think that's why they ran the guy off mid-season because he threw his guy 300 pitches?
They gave up 20 runs the other night. I know that.
To Texas Valley, Rio Grande. How have the Rice Owls have dipped? Huh?
Yeah, it's a rough go over there.
Good win. Remind you of that NOLA?
A little bit,
Gray?
A little bit. I mean, obviously the stakes weren't as high. That was a super regional.
Conditions weren't
the condition. No, it was like trying to hit the ball through a blanket of pea soup last night. The ball wasn't carrying at all. There were some balls that were well struck in the first couple innings that did just
got
went
some
out there
weather
and
going
died.
through that area, huh?
Yeah,
we
It's
got
going to be like that the rest of the week. Today,
all in
from left.
Okay,
and especially tomorrow, it will definitely be blowing in quite strong. So it's going to play that way. And look, that's how Omaha plays. So Cade Anderson, who's given up 8 home runs this season, but opposing batting average now 211. Like maybe that's your ace in Omaha in a pitcher-friendly ballpark.
So who's the guy, the weather guy on the Today Show? What's he doing?
Al
Roker.
Al Roker.
I mean, it's not exactly the Today Show, but live at lunch. I mean, you are getting your weather, fixed. I mean, Max.
Let's take a look at the weather in your neck of the woods.
We should
be a weather guy.
We should get it sponsored. Can we get it sponsored?
Hey,
anybody want to sponsor our weather
Max,
segment?
Go ahead, bro. Go
we need to get
ahead.
Max a weather
you
sponsor.
find you a sponsor, Max. Let's
Max's
go.
weather
Break
report.
your maiden. Our appetizer features over here at Ruffino's is the lobster ravioli, fried lobster ravioli side of vodka tomato cream sauce, and the blue crab gnocchi jumbo lump crab with the pancetta beurre blanc, blistered tomato, spinach, and chili oil Sold. How about this? Ruffino's Bolognese, and it's on the feature today. And we got Chef Patrick is adding some new menu items, and that is going to be one of them: the Bolognese, ground lamb and pancetta Bolognese, or rigatoni with the mint gremolata. The suggested wine pairing is a Foligno Malbec out of Argentina. The veal chop, a 14-ounce veal chop with jumbo lump crab meat, imperial sauce, side of capellini with vodka tomato cream sauce. Suggested wine pairing is the Archery Summit Pinot Noir out of Willamette Valley. And then a spaghetti alla carbonara, Gulf shrimp, the guanciale, the egg yolk, pecorino. I'm running out of speed here. And the Romano. Suggested wine pairing of Peugeot Chardonnay out of Napa Valley. But it's our Lenten entree feature today. It's the shrimp and pasta, basically, Charlie.
Shrimp and pasta, I understand.
Dessert feature, tiramisu. Bam!
I understand that.
Except Patrick, man,
sure.
we are impressed. He's constantly working on tinkering with the specials and doing things, and also generous portions. Really doing a great job over here at Ruffino's.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrowns.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lagniappe on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Weekday mornings at 7 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, let's go out to, normally San Diego. He's in Las Vegas right now. My buddy Chris Macero, professional sports gambler. Chris, how are you? How's Vegas?
First off, Jimmy, it's bolognese. Bolognese.
Okay. All right. I'm listen. Mi paisano, look, you teach me, learn me, baby. Come on.
I'm glad somebody with some experience is.
We're definitely gonna have to go over to Piero's next time we're in Vegas together.
All right, okay.
Have a nice bolognese or chicken parm or something.
Have you done?
See the pictures of Talk the Shark on the wall. Come on.
Have you done Michael's at the South Point?
No, but my friend Jimmy Frazier is a huge advocate of that place as one of the greatest restaurants of all time. If you can get in there, Michael Gahn, a tremendous operator in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it used to be in the Barbary Coast, right?
I'm not sure. That Barbary Coast back in the day, all I remember it for was the after-hours club called Dre's.
Oh, yes.
So if you were old enough and you're in our era, that's where you would go after the club closed.
Dre's, I've been in there before. I love the fake palm trees in the basement. Yes, love those. I mean, classy joint.
We're digressing. We're digressing.
Yes, I know. But if I could pull the fake palm trees, it's legit. So, hey, before we get to this, you hear this usually every year in baseball, and his team that just. Very public team, the best team in baseball, and people just keep betting them. People throw them into money line parlays, and the sports book managers they whine about it. It's all that. And now you have the Dodgers, okay? And I'm asking different sports book managers that we have on our show weekly, mobile and brick and mortar, and like nobody's betting against them. I'm like, well, it's kind of like real estate. Can't sell my house. Well, lower the price. You will sell it. Okay. So, raise the price to get, why are they so stubborn? Put it as high as, a giraffe's rear end. Come on, Chris. I will, if I'm running a book, I will get some people to bet against the Dodgers.
Well, in the last week, you had two of the most ridiculous comebacks of all time. You had the game last Friday night, a week ago tonight, where I've been playing. I don't know if anyone's followed me on X. I've been doing a little experiment. We're going to play the Dodgers -1.5 every game for the whole season. So far so good. We're 8-0, straight up. But with the -1.5, we're 6-2 plus 4.1 units. But last Friday night, they were down by 2 in extra innings. And they still covered the 2 at home, which was absolutely incredible. And the guy that was supposedly on deathbed, Mookie Betts, hits 2 home runs. Now, the other night, they're down 5-0 to the Braves, and somehow they come back and win. I tell you right now, this team has no quit in them. And if you watch the camaraderie in the dugout, when the guys hit the home runs, they're doing the dance or whatever, throwing the sunflower seeds at them. I can't believe how obviously they're not going to go 162-0, but this team, with the amount of firepower they have the deepest rotation. I saw Freeman went on the DL or the IL, whatever you call it now. But they just come back every single game. We were talking on VSiN yesterday. Do you just automatically take them live when they go down like they did the other night.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, you're a big in-game. Yeah, you're a big in-game guy.
Yeah.
Don't you just throw it out there? You could have got plus 400 the other night.
Well, that's at 5-0. I think 5-2 or 5-3 is like plus $2 range. But absolutely, you do it. You know what I did it last year it was a little bit different. It wasn't so much their lineup, but their bullpen. I would wait till the sixth inning with the Guardians, and I mean they would. I mean, how many one-run games did they do? And then we'll have to see whose bullpen is the better because the starters just don't go as deep. I mean, only in the SEC do we throw 135 pitches, Charlie. So, I mean, you know, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Did I mess up on some data or something?
You did not.
Okay.
He's not pushing the pitch count, Jimmy.
So but yes, you got to take them. All right, let me ask you. You would not consider where you can, a lot of the books now, especially the mobile sites, you can go from 1.5 to 1. Now, it's not as big of a payout, but it certainly reduces your juice of the Dodgers being at home. At home, where you can win those one-run games more commonly, is that a consideration?
Yeah, someone actually mentioned to me yesterday, maybe even go the other way. You go 2.5. How many times are they? The lineup is just so explosive. And if you read the comments after the game, they were like, "Oh, we knew Ohtani was going to hit a home run. We knew it." It's like you knew it. What are you talking about? Like you knew he was going to hit a walk-off home run. They just have so many guys that can hit home runs. Tommy Edmonds, a little kid from San Diego, has 4 or 5 home runs already. Yeah. I mean, he's like an afterthought. You know what I mean? It's just such an explosive team, and they never give up. They never think they're out of the game, and that's almost half the battle. Some of these teams, they get down early. Like, how about the Reds? God, they set a record for futility yesterday. 3 straight games, lose 1-0. The Dodgers are just not that type of team. They just always think they can come back, and that is a huge factor in baseball. Right. When you have that confidence, and you can just always, hey, we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up to the end. We can score 5 in the 9th. We can score 4 in the 8th, and they get so many home run hitters. I mean, a live bet anytime they're down. All
right, Freeman out now though. Does it soften your enthusiasm a little bit or your aggression?
Well, I mean, he was out last year a little bit too, but I mean, it's almost, you know, I wouldn't say that it's a great thing, but I mean, obviously they just have so much talent on this roster. I mean, obviously they're paying for it. I mean, sometimes one of these days we're going to have some sort of salary cap in baseball, but for right now, we'll just take advantage of it, and we're just taking the Dodgers minus 1.5 every day.
Gotcha. All right, Final Four. Who you got?
Listen, if I didn't have all my futures on Duke, I would still be on Duke. I mean, you can watch this game up and down. Tennessee against Houston. Everyone's saying Houston's greatest defense, blah, blah, blah. But Tennessee shot 5 for 29 from 3. Lanier and Ziegler, 3 for 18. And if your 2 best players are going to shoot 3 for 18, I mean, what can you do? I think the length of Duke on defense is going to be a huge factor. Everyone has, Houston has a great 3-point shooting team, but I'm just not sure if they're going to be able to do that against Duke. They have length, and they have one of the greatest players in the history of college basketball as a freshman, in Cooper Flagg, who not only does he shoot 37.8% from 3, but he's a good distributor. They have 3 other players on the team that shoot over 40%. And if you saw last game, Cooper Flagg was a little bit off. I was getting texts from people, "Oh, Cooper Flagg sucks. He's this." I'm like, "Are you guys kidding me?" He got rejected a couple times at the rim, but I'm telling you right now, he gets the ball to the right spot every single time. Proctor is hitting these 3. You notice that Duke shoots every single shot. It's wide open. It's either a layup, an alley-oop, or a wide open 3. These efficiency ratings are actually precise because this team is wide open all the time, and I can't get past them. I mean, I really can. I mean, how many points is Houston going to score? Let me ask you.
60.
60? You're not going to beat Duke with 60. I'll tell you that.
Well, what do you put their team? What is their team total?
I'm not sure what the team total is, but
Probably
saying,
low 60s. Probably low 60s.
Yeah, can Houston get to 70 points? I don't.
Oh
think, I don't think they can.
no.
Total on the game.
65.5.
65.5 is Houston's team total. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, don't you just think like? I get it. Houston's a great defensive team. The only way I can see Houston winning this game is if the refs just let them play like a complete rush shot type of game where they're just banging into all the Duke guys and they're just not calling as many fouls as they would usually call. But I just can't see it. Duke's going to score. They have too many good shooters. They have the inside game. And another thing about Houston is they never go inside. So unless they're hitting the three, they might have to shoot a really high percent of the threes to win this game because they don't go inside at all. They're terrible in the 2-point efficiency. So
part of a young team is not great. Basketball IQ. Okay, well they got 2 freshmen who have off the charts basketball IQ, and we know about Flag. And like you said, he tell me when he makes a bad decision. As far as when he comes down, okay, and he's a defensive magnet. That's why everybody gets all those clean looks because he reads the defense so quickly and he's unselfish, but he never makes the wrong decision. And Knipple, he's not gonna blow you away with his athleticism, but he's so smart, man. He is always making the right decisions as well. And don't be up 3, 4, 5 at the end of the game because he's not missing at the line. So. And look, yeah. I'll say we're against Tom here, but I'll save our conversation about Ziegler being one of the top 2 players for Tennessee when we go there. 1 for 9, by the way. Okay, that guy drives me crazy. Okay, so then all right. Also, the early game, Auburn and Broom says he's not restricted at all. The elbow's fine. He's going to play. He played the other night. But Florida 2.5 against Auburn.
Yeah, I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. I know he said he practiced no restrictions, and he had a weird press conference yesterday saying he was banging his elbow into the wall and all that nonsense. But I tell you, don't you just feel that it's the same as last year where it was UConn, Purdue? I just have that weird feeling that it's just the same as last year. It's going to be Duke versus Auburn, the 2 best teams the whole entire season. Yes, Florida caught fire a little bit late, but, God, they have been just asking to be beat. Like the UConn game, the turnovers. I feel this game is an under game. It's 160 points. I know maybe 159.5 right now. 2 teams with not the highest basketball IQ. A lot of turnovers, a lot of questionable decisions. The game, the most recent Auburn game, just give it to Broom. Stop shooting threes. They can't stop it. I don't understand why these teams and you have Bruce Pearl, and maybe that's why Golden learned from Pearl because they're I guess they're great motivators and exciting coaches, but sometimes you just have to take a step back. And I just think that this game, are they going to run up and down the court going 100 miles an hour,
I hope
160 points? I don't see it. I just don't see it. And in the shooting background, the big stadium, I think 160 points in a Final Four game is too much to ask. I don't think it's going to be like the early game this year where they played. I like the under in this game, and I kind of feel like it's going to be Auburn versus Duke because those are the 2 best teams the whole year, and that's similar as last year, whereas UConn, Purdue, and I think it's going to be Auburn, Duke, and I think Duke's going to end up cutting down the nets.
All right, Auburn and Florida. I'm on Auburn in this one as well. I think a little overreaction to Florida. 1-3 against a number in a tournament. Auburn's 3-1. A little backdoor cover by Alabama State in the first round. All right, Bolognese or home pizzas for Skeens night at PB Chris's crib. This summer for Del Mar's Day. Okay. All right, we can make my reservations.
Hey, listen, I saw a guy last night. I was out with him. He said he has a couple horses with Bob Hess. He's coming to Del Mar. I just got excited. I'm ready for the warm weather. It's 45 degrees in Vegas, Jimmy. I'm freezing.
45 in Vegas. What's 85 here in Baton Rouge? So come do some yard work with me. Anyway, Chris, good luck to you.
I heard you guys talking about cutting acres of grass. I didn't know what
That's
show
Charlie's crap. Charlie's dad used to make him cut.
I'm from the country, bro. Okay, there's plenty of grass out there.
You guys are great. Tell Max I said hello. Love you, Max.
What's up, Acero? Have a good one. Good luck this week.
Hey, buddy.
All right. Masters Week next week, so we'll look forward to that. Thank you, Chris. Good luck to you. Don't forget our friends over at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds' Legacy Title, for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060, full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get when you call 296-0060. Our great staff over at Legacy Title: Ashley Bynum Donald, Mariana Broussard-Haynes, Adrian Riscolata, Michael Platt, and Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing, nobody choose but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes: 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use: custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martine Padiella at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And the wind go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon, presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic, is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
Get Moss, Max, and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. 3 best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Troy, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just getting ready for a big weekend of sports.
Hey, Final Four. What else you looking forward to this weekend, Troy?
Well, also the one thing I'm looking forward to, I believe it's tonight, is the women's Final Four.
Uh-huh.
Maybe not as highly anticipated as last year or the year prior, but the potential to have UConn play South Carolina in the national championship game is awesome. South Carolina, the dominant program of the last 5 to 10 years, and obviously UConn is the most dominant program in women's basketball history. They have, one of the two most recognizable players in college basketball, and Paige Beckers. Should be great games tonight. And we've seen a huge uptick in betting on women's college basketball this year and last year. If we put the men's Final Four and women's Final Four games together and looked at all the money, UConn money line right now would be the 5th most weighted on play. Now, granted, it's the day before, so people are racing to bet on this as opposed to maybe waiting tomorrow to bet on the men's Final Four. But, we've seen a huge uptick, and this is healthy for the sport and good for everyone involved.
Charlie, you've been on this early. South Carolina's mortality was the word I'm looking for. They're human. They're
a different
beatable.
team. They don't have that one dominant player like they've had in the past with like an Aaliyah Boston. They're a deeper team. When they played LSU, their top 2 scorers were coming off the bench, so they go deeper than a lot of teams. But they don't have that one dominant player like some of the ones.
Well,
they've had
to
in the
your
past.
credit, we're seeing it on the floor right now because they were in a dogfight in the Sweet 16 against Maryland, and then was it Duke in the regional final?
Yes, they won by 4.
No,
they
were. I mean,
game
these
at
are
the end,
50-50 games. I mean, the whole fourth quarter. So this is not what we've seen in the past for them. I mean, they nobody was pushing them.
No,
and so it's not even the USC with a healthy Juju or UC. I mean, all the other, the heavyweights, the ones we expected to be here, who are here right now, but teams that are good, but. These lines had to be like 15, 16 points.
And these 2 games that these teams played in the regular season were very different. The one game that they played at Texas was able to win. The game that they played at South Carolina blew them out. And then in the game again in the Southeastern Conference tournament, South Carolina blew them out. So I understand why South Carolina is a 5.5-point favorite here, despite some of their struggles in the tournament. Relatively speaking, struggles because the 2 times they played Texas outside of Austin, they handled them pretty easy.
I like the dogs in both of these games. Troy, who do you like?
I like I like UConn to win and cover there.
Okay.
And I like South Carolina, but I actually watched Texas, watching the first round matchup because I have a friend who went to William & Mary who was on William & Mary plus 49.5. So we were watching the ends of that game, but Texas has their center is really big, much bigger than pretty much every other player on the floor. I think Texas could cover here. We're looking at 71% of the money and 65% of the tickets on South Carolina to cover. I do think they win, but I think it will be much closer than their 2 previous matches outside of Austin, like Charlie said.
I think these lines are inflated because of history, and I mean, who's the hottest program going right now? It's South Carolina. Who's the strongest program ever, or the coach? It's UConn. And who are they playing? UCLA. How many trips they made it? This is number 1. Dick Schaefer. He's been coaching college women's basketball for a while. How many Final Fours is this for him?
5 or 6.
Is it?
2 at Mississippi State that I can remember for sure.
He did make 2 at Mississippi State?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to look.
He was the coach when they lost to Notre Dame in the final? Okay. Okay. But Texas, it's his first trip with Texas. But anyway, I just think a little bit of branding here. And look, this is a favorite, is a chalk dominated sport. But I mean, tell me UCLA is not a surprise to me. 7.5. I don't know, Troy. I'm taking the points tonight.
UConn is really good, and I don't think they've played their best game yet. And it's really surprising to me. I get is like the UCLA's women's basketball team is not their men's program, which is one of the most iconic. But I was surprised when I heard that this is UCLA's first ever trip to the Final Four. I figured they would have made at least one. Now, you don't the conversion from having a good men's program isn't always the same where you have a good women's program. But I was very surprised to see UCLA this is their first one. Where I can't even tell you how many UConn finished. It's got to be 37.
Yes. So I think it's 28 or something like that. For
Max
Gino.
had this stat the other day. What was it?
16 of 17.
16 of 17.
But like 28 Final Fours for Gino Auriemma.
It's a great. And three for Schaefer, 2 at Mississippi State. Now this one at Texas. But he went to the Elite Eight 4 other times. And the COVID year,
so how many Final Fours is this for him?
This is third.
Okay.
This is third.
Okay.
And 4 other Elite Eights. And they had a really good team the COVID year. They would have been a contender.
Gino's been to 24.
24. So this is his 24th. Hey, Troy, thank to you guys at Bet Rivers for giving us an outlet for the Crown college basketball. I think it was only one available here in the state, and it's been some good games. Not the greatest crowds in the world on site in Vegas, but been good games. Two dogs winning last night or covering last night.
Yeah. It's I think we really needed to wait and see the first round games because a lot of these teams guys have already opted out. It's a little bit like a bowl game where some guys are already in the transfer portal or have already decided to go pro or whatever. But I think the quality of the matchups have been good. Especially that first night we had 2 really good games, 1 blowout. And as it relates to the betting, I fielded a lot of questions about why the games were taken down. There's impropriety, and it really had everything to do with, you have to the tournaments have to get legalized by the individual states, and so it has nothing to do with like the teams that played. It had everything to do with the event and it being a new event, and I guess they hadn't dotted their T's and crossed their I's. So to speak. And so, a lot of the regulators had not approved of this event. So they took it down, but then in some places they put it back up. So I was very glad to because, we took more on, I believe it was Monday night when the women's Elite Eight was. We took far more on the women's Elite Eight than we did of the Crown, but it wasn't a massive difference. So that means that, there's a healthy action, especially when there's not a lot of competition elsewhere.
And also I can't find on the betting menu where the Dodgers, what's the payout for them going 162-0? Why is that not available, Troy?
You get better out if you bet them game by game,
Roll over?
Yeah, just roll it over.
Okay.
Yeah, better return.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, we should have, we have win totals, but we should have a loss total. And it's like, what would it be, like 14? Like, it's crazy. This team is so good relative to the rest of the field. And especially when you look at a team like, the Braves, who are thought to be, a contender in the NL, like they're off to a terrible start. And is Mookie Betts even at 100% yet? Like, it's crazy. Is Ohtani, is he even pitching yet? It's crazy.
Charlie, would it dampen your enthusiasm, your approach on them with Freeman out now? He was out the last game, the 5-0 comeback.
A little bit. I mean, because he's a great player. But what I think is going to get the Dodgers at some point, because the damn game of baseball is undefeated. Yeah. Okay, at some point, the game gets you. Okay, I understand they're off to a hot start. It's not like they're not going to win the division. They'll probably win the World Championship. But are they going to win 135 games? No, they're just not. The game's going to
Seattle won the most.
116, I think, in the regular season. That was in 2001.
Troy, that's got to be a prop, though. I mean, 116.
116 is doable.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to get to 130 or something like that.
But to set or break the number, I think that's a prop that, man, I think some people would be interested in. And you know what? I think they bet the Dodgers.
I think we offered that as like a weekly special during the off season for like a week or so. I'd have to go back and look, but I know we did when we started rolling out some of our early MLB futures, and I think it's definitely doable. I think there's a big drop off in the quality in the NL, and pitching is, there are some elite pitchers, but I just think across the board, like the pitching quality is not all that great, especially as it's changed. Starters only going 5 innings. You can have a dominant starter and still the team can just get roughed up really badly. So I think because the Dodgers have so many good bats, they're just going to be able to run roughshod over, most of the competition. Relative to what Charles said, I think it's an important point. It's like the game gets you. You play 193,000 baseball games a year. It's impossible to win them all, especially when you're playing, 8 games in 9 days, and that's even before injury, So I think they're easily the best team in baseball. It's very hard to bet on them in the futures market because there's no value. It's very hard to bet on them in games because there's no value unless you take a run line. But just in watching, they're looks to be one of the best baseball teams of the last 20 years.
Plus 215 to win the whole thing, the World Series. So, Troy, before we get out of here, your best bet in the Final Four?
I'm going to take the Florida-Auburn under. I think that's going to be a close game or a tight game, so it's going to be a little bit slower. Auburn, 11 straight NCAA tournament games have gone under 158. And then, not a lot of great value here, but I like Duke to win, and I'd honestly probably take the 5. I think this game will be played over 137 just a little bit. Houston plays super slow, but Duke has a really good team, not just Cooper Flagg, who is the best player in the country. So, I like Duke and Florida facing off in the national championship game, and I think Duke wins, but it should be a great game.
Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's Machir. Troy, enjoy the weekend, buddy. Talk to you Monday.
You guys do the same. Thank you.
United Community Bank with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of South Louisiana for over 50 years. At United Community Bank, your business is our business. We support the hardworking folks behind local business, from initial startup loans to ongoing planning and assessments. United Community Bank is here for you. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Grow your nest egg savings with a great CD rate from Home Bank. For a limited time, you can earn 4.25% annual percentage yield, and you get to choose the term. Pick 3, 7, or 11 months and get this excellent return on your savings. The minimum balance is only $2,500. It really is that simple. Stop by any South Louisiana Home Bank location and speak with a local banker today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon, presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic, is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Ruffino's live at lunch. A little update from the Valero. Keith Mitchell, 8 under
30.
par yesterday. He's got the lead right now. Sam Ryder, who was 9 under par yesterday, is 3 over. He's 2 shots off the lead, along with Jordan Spieth, Matt Wallace, Tom Hoagie, Andrew Novak, Ben James, Brian Harmon, Daniel Berger, and Sam Burns has dropped off a little bit. He's not dropped off. He's 3 under for the tournament. He tees off at 1:15. Hour number 2 straight ahead here at Ruffino's live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new go-to pizza joint in downtown Baton Rouge is Town Square Pizza. Town Square Pizza, located on North Boulevard across from the courthouse, is the perfect in-and-out destination when grabbing a quick workday lunch or visiting local attractions on the weekend. Town Square Pizza, you guessed it, square pizzas are consistently flavored and cooked perfectly every single time. It's as simple as that. Town Square Pizza, downtown next to Jolie Pearl. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency. Lower your monthly bills and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
Power outages are unpredictable, so stay ready with a Generac home standby generator from Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Trusted in South Louisiana, we provide expert installation and service. Call 225-300-9389 or visit boudreauxelectrical.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. He's out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
That's a good question. Where is Bruce?
I mean, it's a weekly. I mean, where is Bruce? I mean, he's probably got upgraded to first class with his knee brace, heading to Italy or somewhere, huh?
I would think, yeah.
Switzerland, huh?
Pre-boarding, those of you
yes,
want to get up in the front of the plane.
All first class military and people with knee braces, please board the plane right now. Bruce, how you doing?
Man, I am not going anywhere with this brace on. I'll tell you that. Just staying around the neighborhood for a couple weeks.
There you go. Move it though, Bruce. Don't stay stationary. You gotta get that,
I'm moving. I'm moving. I just getting in a car is kind of tough. My wife. I want to buy her a chauffeur hat because I'm in the back and I got it all because I got to keep my legs straight.
Yes.
Driving, so that's okay. That's okay though.
Yeah, been there, done that, Brucey. I hope to stay out of those knee surgeries moving forward. But your thoughts on the tournament? Where we are now, how it's been, 4 number 1 seeds. Has it been that big of a gap? Everything to, Chris Beard turns out in the era of I need more money, I need more NIL, he turns down Texas A&M. He certainly could have negotiated a much bigger player budget than what he has at Ole Miss, even though Ole Miss has given him a unprecedented support.
To say nothing of the fact that this guy was fired at Texas for charges that the woman recanted and that eventually he was cleared of. So if he's got any type of ill will towards Texas, where better to be a thorn in their side than Texas A&M, and he still turned this thing down.
I would have taken Human said yesterday a better job. Well, historically better job, but every coach at every school, we need more. Don't worry about upgrading our facilities. We need more NIL player budget. They call it NIL, but the player budget. A&M, if they were coming after him, they were prepared what they need to give him in that resort. Your thoughts, Brucey, on a bunch of things happening right now in college hoops?
Well, if A&M wants to call me, I'm listening. If they want to pay me, I'll take the job. Can we, good for a second, boys, rewind to last night? I just hope everybody was able to watch that NIT final.
Yeah.
Which was one of the best games I'd seen all year. You guys might be old enough this reminded me so much of when Virginia Tech won this tournament NIT in '73. And that's when they had Alan Bristow and that little guard named Bobby Stevens hit a bomb at the buzzer in overtime to beat Notre Dame. And they were, Don DeVoe was a young coach then, and they were an underdog all the way through that tournament. Nobody was expecting them to win. And that's when the NIT was a little bit more loaded than it is now. And they won out of nowhere. And that's what Chattanooga reminded me of. They won every game in this tournament as an underdog. And just a never say die spirit. That was just, and what a game last night. You got guys named Bash, a guy named Honor. You got a big guy's nickname is the Big Schnitzel. What more could you want? Played at Butler. That was just about as good as it gets.
I've
Now,
got. Let's
the
stick
big
on that
stuff
for a
is-
second, Brucey, because I got a couple of thoughts there.
Yes.
Because with the crown that's in Vegas right now, and the tie-ins that Fox generated tournament that has the tie-ins to the Big 12, Big East, and Big 10. So they got sort of the name brand, but I mean, one of the teams finished last in Colorado. I mean, with a 4-17 or whatever it was, in their play. I think they won maybe 4-18. I don't know. But the thing is, the atmosphere at Hinkle was so much better. Those people were going, they were going nuts in this game. I hope, and I know this, we're watching this more, but I think in this NIT and what UCSD really had and kind of got a little hose in the call against a Sweet 16 team in Michigan. And also, if you watch the Big West final between those two schools, that was a high-level game, really good game. Man, we don't need a down-the-line Power 5 team when these two teams certainly validated their hype. Sometimes they don't. With this one, they did. And the other thing is, missed free throws are important. How many? 77% free throw shooter for Irvine, missed 2. I mean, Che hits the first 2, but he misses it to try and win it at the end. He comes back to the line in overtime. He's 80%. He misses both. I mean, another one misses one of 2. So free throws galore for Irvine down the stretch as well. But yes, 5 for 5. Underdog wins outright for Chattanooga.
Yeah, you're right. All that is right, Jimmy. One note about the crown, and I wrote about this on this thing called the Discord that I'm doing for CBS Sports Time. A lot of guys are talking about, the crown, this and that. The crown exists as never mind the attendance there. This is a move by those bigger conferences, and it's the Big 12, the Big East, and the Big 10 because they're all Fox properties. This is their little salvo toward the NC2A. And for the next negotiations for the big dance contract, which I don't think comes till 2032, but this is all a test case what the Crown is doing, and they've got the nil component and that and all, but they want to demonstrate that they can run a major tournament themselves. And when they get into the negotiation for the next big dance, whatever it is, that threat, and it's sort of like what the SEC and Big Ten did in the college football playoff, that we can go it alone. We can do this alone. And in basketball's case, the NC2A still controls the big dance. That is their lifeblood, and that is their existence, really, the revenues they get from the big dance. But the big conferences don't really like that. And by the way, the SEC is not involved in the Crown only because it's not a Fox property. They're watching it very closely. But that's what the whole thing about the Crown is about. And we'll see. It's the first step, and it's going to be a negotiating cudgel for the big leagues when they're there with the NC2A in the next round of the big dance negotiations for the media rights, which is a big deal. But I'm telling you, that's why the Crown exists. So we'll just see how that goes there. And it's not because of the crowd counts, because nobody's going to those games in Vegas. And you're right, a team like Colorado shouldn't be there, but that's sort of beside the point. It's all about the future. Anyway, as far as this weekend, you wonder about, is Duke really this good? I mean, I don't like Duke, but I'm having a hard time picking them to lose this game against Houston. Houston, we saw what they could do to a team like Tennessee that sort of froze, and trying to play through that Houston pressure in the backcourt is very tough because they put so much pressure on the perimeter. But Duke, I think, can play over the top of that pressure out there in the perimeter because they've got a lot of size. They've got a guy like Flagg. And these other, by the way, Nupel is regarded as a lottery pick too. Maluach, mid-first round pick. And even the two transfers, Proctor and the transfer from Tulane, Sion Brown, second round picks. I mean, you're looking at this whole starting lineup is probably going to get drafted. So it's not just Flagg, but they just seem to be playing at a different level right now. I'd like to see Houston do it, but they seem destined always to fall short in the Final Four. They've been there 6 times. They've had Elvin Hayes. They've had Team Olajuwon. They've had Clyde Drexler in the past. They've never won the whole thing. I'd like to see Kelvin Sampson win it. I don't think it's going to happen. The other one, Florida, I know they say, well, Janae Broom, that bad wing, he said yesterday he's okay. I want to see him play, though. He couldn't even move that right arm when he came back in last Sunday. He shoots lefty, but still, it's hard to play with one arm not working that well. We'll see how that goes. But I became sold on Florida, Jimmy. We might have talked about this back in February when they went in to Auburn and won very impressively when Auburn was flying at its absolute highest this year. They'd won 14 straight. They were one in the polls. They get Florida at home. And I thought Florida really grew up that night. They went in there, handled Auburn pretty good. And the way they have had to look into the abyss, especially against Texas Tech in this tournament, and found a way back. Clayton looked like Steph Curry. Down the stretch there. And this team's got a little bit of moxie there about it. And frankly, I thought Auburn was there for the taking in both of those games last weekend. I'm still not sure they're back to where they were in the midseason when they were flying so high. I think Florida gets them tomorrow. That might be an over. And then we're going to have Florida and Duke on Monday night, and then we'll see.
We're monitoring Auburn's practice right now. And Broom he's got a sleeve on that right arm. But he's handling the ball with both hands. He's doing it. If you didn't see the sleeve, now this is not game, this is practice, and kind of, doing it. But you really couldn't tell as far as what we see here. Now we'll see. He's an extremely physical player, and we'll see. We know what he's playing. Well, you shoot him up a little bit to try numb, but he's going to play. How much he'll be off? Not sure. But I think it may be minimal in what I'm looking at right now. Brissy, you think I'm with you on the Michigan Auburn game. Michigan had an 8-9 point lead. 12, 13 minutes to go in the game, and they went on that run, and then that crowd got behind them. They're not going to have that same type of crowd, and there's no crowd at the Alamo Dome with the big stadiums. But you think Michigan State had them? Because I thought Auburn was clearly in control for that game.
Well, yes and no. And by the way, Florida length and depth, too, I think matches up really well with Auburn. So that's why I like Florida's matchup here. Michigan State, that entire game, they were missing shots, and maybe they were hurrying them or whatever, but
yeah,
they should have hit a lot of those shots, and they normally would, that they were missing. It was just right there for them, and they couldn't. And even at the end, Auburn was just sort of hanging on there. And I know Auburn had that spurt early, and they got out, 15. And then, they just sort of didn't stall, but, it was kind of labored from that point forward. And Michigan State just never quite got it there. I just thought they're getting shots that they want. They're just not falling.
And that's why we kind of said, man, I don't know about when we talk about who's capable of winning it all, who's not. And, whether was it, 4 teams or was it 8 or 9 teams? And Michigan State was a popular debate. And one of them was their perimeter shooting was really poor for most of the season. And yes, they had wide open threes that they were just clanging because they were getting on some of these possessions. They were getting multiple offensive rebounds. So it was like 3 or 4 wide open threes on some possessions.
Yeah, they were missing a lot at the rim too. Stuff maybe they were hurried a bit, but they normally would. But nonetheless, Auburn was still ahead of that in that game. But you're right though. The Michigan game though, I'm still trying to figure out how Michigan let that thing get away because they looked in control. Well into the second half there, and they had that nice lead, and then it all just went pear-shaped on them at one point. I think my bottom line here about Auburn is I still don't think I don't think they're quite where they were at midseason, and they slowed down some at the end of the regular season, and I still in the dance that Alabama State game, and it didn't mean much, but sluggish. Took them in the Creighton game. That was not an easy one. And both those games were very tough last week. Florida has been flying here now. I just think they've got the length and the depth. And the fact they've really looked in the abyss and pulled themselves out here. I really like that about a team in March, April here now. So I think Florida gets them. We'll see.
I just can't get that regular season game, and maybe to my detriment because it's been a long time ago. They just so dominated that game. And Broom was playing. Broom played. He had a normal game. They never even made a run at Florida in the second half.
They got like to 10 or 8.
They got to 9.
Nine. Okay,
I mean, it was 15 with 5 minutes to go. They just completely put them in a box that game, and it was at Auburn. I know how hard that place is to win.
Yeah, because we kept waiting for Auburn to make that run.
Yeah,
But
they're going to put some pressure on them
but
at
that
least.
game, Charlie, we didn't have the same level. If that game would happen now, it wouldn't totally blindside us like it did, at that point. No, that was the point. Like, okay, we got to start paying closer attention to Florida. And they but then, and then they had some of their, like, what are you doing? Not losing a whole game at South Carolina. Till the final score was the only time they led. What are you doing falling behind 26, giving up 67% free shooting to Georgia 25 minutes into the game? So they had some of those. And listen, they got off the hook against Texas Tech. And I wonder about Golden. Where's your concern with Golden, young coach? Because now, look, he's not McCaslin, but, from Texas Tech, not many people are. But man, I thought that Houck and Clayton really bailed out Golden against Texas Tech.
I agree, but and I do have some questions about Golden here too. This team, the poise of this team, though. I mean, the UConn game was difficult, and they down the stretch they just showed a little bit more poise, and and with Clayton leading the way, they paper a lot of things. Those guys, so. It's tough, but I lean away. By the way, my one thing, let me just bounce this off you guys too. A lot of discussions I've had with people this week about who does Cooper Flagg remind you of the most, and I've heard a lot of guys talking, Scottie Pippen here and others. I'll give you my comparison. NBA will be Draymond Green, who's going to be a Hall of Famer. And we think of Green now, and not much of a scorer. He's a lot more of a scorer when he's at Michigan State. But Flagg's all-around game is so good. That's what I think is going to make him a star. He's not Larry Bird, though. He doesn't shoot and score quite that much. But he could be a perennial all-star. And by me, that's the one I think he's most like. But I'm getting a lot of different answers from people this week.
Well, it's a baseball term, but the thing that comes to mind when I talk about Flagg and what I see is tools guy. And he does have, some Magic Johnson to him where he can play all positions. And he has some Larry Bird to him because he's a better shooter than Magic Johnson. He's not quite the shooter as, say, a Larry Bird. But, guy that can pass, IQ, score himself. He can score more if he wanted, if he wasn't so versatile and smart in reading defenses. Yeah. So when does he force anything? He just doesn't. He's just, for a guy that should be a high school senior, I'm blown away. And I hate Duke. Okay. I just can't stand him. But this guy is just so impressive. And it's not just he's not going to have these super highlight reels. He's not, this super explosive player that they're in the highlight generation. But there's one guy, if I had to choose one guy, man, I got to think about this a little bit.
I'll give you one, and the first thing you're going to tell me is he's not the athlete that this guy was, and I won't dispute that at all. But everything else about the game, the pre-injury Grant Hill, that he did everything. Now, he's not the athlete that Hill was. Hill was before the injury, Hill was a super athlete.
He's pretty athletic.
He's a very athletic, but he's not as athletic as Hill. But the rest of the game, the IQ. I remember Grant Hill in a game against Shaquille O'Neal in LSU running the point.
Out of necessity
because Bobby and did not at all look out of place,
right?
Because Bobby Hurley was out of the game in college. Those first 5 years with the Pistons, Hill was arguably one of the 2 or 3 best players in the game, and this is when Jordan was still playing. So that's when I see him at Duke, not quite the athlete, but everything else. I see Grant Hill.
The only thing with that is Charlie Flagg he will mix it up, and for a guy that's elite who's going number one and knows it, he mixes it up. Down, he finishes fiercely. Hill kind of hung around on the wing, a lot. It's a hard one. Maybe a Danny Manning at this stage, but Manning maybe wasn't quite the facilitator, but he did do some. You know, I mean, and he was a big, tall guy he had a lot of versatility to his game.
And I can't think about Danny Manning without thinking about the run at Kansas where he was the best
I'm
player.
talking about at Kansas at this stage.
I know.
You know,
that's not bad either.
You know,
well, all these guys we mentioned, it's a very the one quality there is a highest tier basketball IQ.
Yeah.
All these guys are talked about, and that's where Flag is. But that's my other point about Duke. And they got these other guys. You got maybe 2 other lottery picks in the lineup, the other freshmen. So and he really helps those other guys. I mean, I think it was Proctor and Newport were the highest scorers in the Bama game. You know, Flag could score more, it looks like to me, but he's very happy keeping the other guys happy as well.
So Grant Hill had some other
guys.
guys.
Basketball IQ thing is so high.
Yeah, Grant Hill had some other guys around him. Manning had to carry the load.
Yeah, Danny and the
so
Miracles.
That's where it's different. You know, if Flag had Danny Manning supporting cast, he would be carrying the load more. And that's what we're talking about. So how many guys of this? Certainly Bird didn't. You know, Magic had a little bit more. I mean, even this might be bad, but Brucey told me Wally Zerbiak in college was kind of a big guy who could go down in and rebound as well and defend, and he knew how to pass as well. And man, but he had to carry the load with Miami, Ohio. I went to those games where they won a couple of games.
Yeah, I know they played down in the Dome, right? In the tournament. Zerbiak was a very well-rounded offensive player. I don't know if his full game was quite as good as Flag's, but he stuck around, several years at Miami, so he came in a little bit more seasoned to the NBA. But all these guys we talk, like I say, it's just high basketball IQ, and that's what impresses me about him. His decision making, really, really good, and that's kind of the scary thing. But one other note, I'm just trying to think, guys. If he pulls his name, they'd pay him pretty well at Duke if he wanted to stick around another year. So what if Utah or the Wizards get the first pick? Does he want to stick around college another year? Do you really want – you watched Utah play lately? You watched the Wizards actually won a game this week. Utah?
The Pelicans are going to get the first pick, Bruce. We don't have to worry about it.
Does he have to declare before the lottery?
Well, I think you can. I think you do, but I think you can pull your name back out if you don't. I believe that's.
There are no rules anymore.
But, I mean,
whatever.
Exactly. Everything is in play now, huh, Charlie?
I mean, come on. Yeah, I got a guy that's played 4 full years saying, I'm going to try to play a 5th year. Why? Why? I don't get it.
You don't want to go back to school, Charlie?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I definitely want somebody to pay for it.
Well, this guy's beyond his years.
I can go back to college and they're going to give me money to do it?
Yes.
Yes.
Play basketball.
Absolutely.
Just work on your offhand.
Sure. No
Yeah,
problem.
we got to get you. They're cheating on your right side, Charlie.
I invite you guys to watch the Jazz tonight against the Pacers, and tell me if you think maybe Duke couldn't give the Jazz a run right now. I mean, they're that bad.
One of my picks on the show the other night was Rockets minus 16. Last time I can't remember the last time I laid 16 against the Jazz. They were going to clinch the division. All right, they won by 45. I mean, it's it's a Brucey, great stuff as always, man. Good luck this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, boys, have a good weekend. Thank you.
All right, you know the routine on the weekends. Go down to the Queen, watch the games, and on the way home, hit Los Reyes Mexican Grill for tacos, quesadillas, fajitas, burritos, you name it. Always start off with the fresh guacamole. I like to get some fresh jalapenos on the side as well. Happy hour is every day. 24/7. I mean, not 24, 365 days a year. 2:30 to 6:30. Always got the 3 TVs behind the bar. Patio seating when the weather cooperates is available as well. And if you're playing Little League ball this weekend down the street, hey, call ahead of time. We'll get the table ready for the whole team. I mean, 12, 16, 20. We'll have it ready. And when you get your bill, you don't get that sticker shock as well. Tell them you heard it right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, just off of Nicholson, across from Mike Anderson's.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Tech, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Tech exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Blue Bonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center. The Hunt Palmer Show, weekday afternoons at 1 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
LSU with the big win last night against Oklahoma, game 2 today. Max, what's the weather look like up in Norman?
Yeah, so today it should be dry. It's supposed to rain a little bit today, but
6:30 scheduled to start, by the way.
6:30. It should be dry. 13 to 17 miles per hour in from left field, which might help a strike thrower in Anthony Ianson. And then tomorrow we'll have even more wind in Norman. Dale, they call it the Dale. It'll be blowing quite a bit, 25 miles per hour in from left center. We could see some showers later in the game, so about 40% chance by 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. But yeah, we'll see. It should be a very pitcher-friendly park, not just yesterday, not just today, but also tomorrow in Game 3.
So Oklahoma will counter Ianson with Cade Crossland, who has the unfortunate ERA of 6.66, but that is inflated by one really bad outing in Southeastern Conference play against Mississippi State 2 weeks ago. He gave up 8 runs in 3 innings. The other 2 starts, he's pitched fairly well. He gave up no earned runs in 4 2/3 against South Carolina, and he threw 6 innings of 2-run baseball against Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and that's a pretty good Alabama team, so that's not bad. So you look at his numbers, and they're not great, but they're also a little – he has pitched well at times. He also had one really bad outing in the non-conference against Dallas Baptist, who we know can hit. So you see the 6.66 ERA, which, like I said, is unfortunate number, but it's not maybe quite as bad as that. They haven't announced a starter for Saturday yet, the Game 3, but Malachi Witherspoon, who is Kyson Witherspoon's twin brother, but does not have nearly the stats that his brother does, has started their last 2 Game 3s in Southeastern Conference play. He is on the season 2-2 with an ERA of 5.74, but it's the whip, 1.72. You put 1.7 base runners per inning on base, you're going to give up some runs. He does not have anywhere near the strikeout totals. He's about a strikeout an inning, where his brother was 68 and 45. So you may see Malachi Witherspoon tomorrow, but he is not as good as Kyson is.
Some odds for tonight's game, courtesy of the Queen, the DraftKings Sportsbook. LSU, a 2.5-run favorite, -270 on the money line, and a total of 11.5.
Now you see that, and I think they should be a significant favorite tonight. Whereas last night's game, I thought should have been more of a Pickett, maybe in Oklahoma, small favorite. I think I told you yesterday, I thought the odds shifted significantly to LSU in games 2 and 3. So hope the weather holds up for us. It's raining there now. Is that right?
Raining there now, but should be well cleared out by game time tonight.
I realized something else watching the game last night. I don't know if you did. I thought somewhere in my vast watching of college baseball and all of the stuff that's televised now that I had seen a game in that park before. I realized as soon as I saw the wide-angle shot of that park that I have never seen a game in that park before. And the reason I know that is about as substandard a facility as there is in the conference from the wide-angle lens. And that's me not being there. I've seen Jimmy, down at Jesuit High School, where they have a really, really nice park. Barb, where they have a really nice park. They built a new one.
Oh, okay. It's Curtis Rooney that played there forever.
Yeah. Well, this is a park that you would expect to see a lower level, almost junior college level of facility. Holds about 3,000. A lot of that is bermed down the lines.
Norman?
In Norman.
I'm watching this. Okay.
It's wow. It looks like if you
Sacramento.
It looks like if you had taken the old box and chopped it in half from 25 years ago. I know they just spent all that money on the softball park. I know they've got the best softball. I talked to some people at the game last night. I was like, is it bad as it looks on TV? Yes, it is as bad as it looks on TV. And look, as much as I love the old box as a brick and mortar facility, it had outlived its usefulness. I mean, with all of the things that they couldn't do in there, this park looks like that.
The Dale was
Big 12
open.
Baseball isn't on the same level of interest that SEC baseball is. And, we talk about Baton Rouge, and nothing's like Baton Rouge, but will they become, so many, Florida, they have limited support, with all their success, they invested. We know that, Auburn did originally. I think they reinvested in theirs, but so many new parks over the last 20 years or so in the SEC, and will they take that next step as now being involved in this league? Because you're on more. Man, it's on ESPN too. That's a big deal.
This is a team that was in the College World Series final 3 years ago. I mean, this is not an insignificant program. Okay,
who they play?
Ole Miss.
Yes.
Yes.
And they won one. I mean, it's modern history. I mean, they won one against Georgia Tech, that great Veritek and Garcia Parra team.
Yeah.
I think with increase resources and just around the league that they want to kind of fit. Will they be like A&M, man, when they first in the league? They like, hey man, what do we need to do to keep up? So I think it'll come.
I'm sure they will. I was just surprised. I was like, ooh, man, that looks like Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, sorry, Jimmy. The Dale opened in 1982. Hasn't really undergone a major renovation since the 02 season. They did add a scoreboard in 09, but there really has not been much.
Scoreboard. It's rough. it's rough.
I think it's a combination of that and what we're used to in this league.
Yeah, and like I said, I at the end, the old box had, my goodness, I mean the birds were dropping out of the rafters.
Kentucky before they had a little success?
When I went to Kentucky in 2006, it wasn't bad.
It was Vanderbilt until recently.
Vanderbilt's stadium when they built it alongside the football stadium is nice. Okay, it's not one of the better ones in the facility, but it's miles ahead of what you're looking at.
When did they build that?
Early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been a while. No, everybody in the last 20 years has either built a new one or upgraded what they had.
So I mean, when you're playing Big 12 baseball and you got 1,500 people there, it's enough to handle.
They built the softball first. The softball has been better, and the softball facility is the best one probably in the country. It's brand new.
Does she have as many assistants as Mulkey does?
I don't know if she needs them.
I'll take Mulkey minus 6.5.
Yeah, you probably it'd probably be in pretty good shape there. We're brought to you by the Thibodeau Store, Cajun cooking, especially soft cookware shipped right to your door. Go to doitbest.com/Thibodeau Store. Also, get your yard, your garden, your flower beds in shape right now. 55% off select lawn and garden items. Lots of tools, hoses, pressure washers on the website right now. Potting and topsoil spreaders and seeders, outdoor power equipment. And once you get that, once you get the yard in shape, you want to spend some time outside on the patio. Huge selection of grills, including the big green egg cookers for the ultimate cooking experience and all of the extras that go along with the big green egg. Available at the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau. Also, the Pierre Part Store, in business for 113 years and online with a lot of these items available for delivery. doitbest.com/Thibodeau Store. Live at lunch from Ruffino's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padiella at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crowntown Room at Dozy Place. The Crowntown Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
We are here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle.
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And the wind go trebles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
So, Charlie, you've heard that going up and out to some of the tennis matches. LSU men and women doing a great job. The women with their 3 international recruits this year, really kicking butt. And former women's tennis coach ran into former women's tennis coach Tony Minnis when I was out there, longtime buddy of mine. And Tony, we bring him on right now. Tony, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Jimmy. How you doing? What's up, Charlie? It's been a while.
Tony, it's good to hear from you again.
Yes, indeed. Tony, you brought this to my attention and certainly want to help out, spread the word. Now, tomorrow after the Today Show, your special will air. But growing up in the 80s in New Orleans and, playing junior tennis, so playing in the Catholic League, certainly knew a guy by the name of Tim Siegel, Catholic League phenom, the local, all the junior tennis tournaments. We all knew who he was. Went on to play at Arkansas, play professionally, and then he was coaching at Texas Tech, where he decided to step aside. And then his son Luke had a serious injury with a golf cart, and now, he's got a thing called Team Luke, and he's making a difference helping kids out with brain injuries right now. Fill us in.
Yeah, so Tim is just a great guy, and it's unfortunate his son ended up passing away a couple of years ago. He suffered an anoxic brain injury, and so at the time, Tim was encouraged to start a nonprofit and teamed with a lady named Rhonda Johnson out of Austin, Texas, and they've started this nonprofit which helps families whose kids have suffered brain injuries. And the thing that has been so remarkable about it, Drew Brees was one of the first celebrities to get involved and did a lot where they came to the games, and he came to Lubbock and supported the nonprofit. But not only Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, has come out and said that the reason he started his foundation was because of this story. Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, Andre Agassi, all these celebrities. And so I've been doing some TV, and I hosted I did a TV show with Tim's team when he was coaching at Texas Tech. And since then, I've done 2 or 3 shows about this nonprofit. And so this past October, I went to Austin, and they had a conference with 150 families from 27 states whose kids have all had brain injuries. And I interviewed them, and we put this wonderful show together. In the meantime, Dr. Phil heard about the cause, and approached him about saying, what can we do? And so I did a sit-down interview with Dr. Phil, and he's really supportive of it. So it's just a wonderful cause. And I think that I had no idea how often brain injuries happen with children, and just getting out there and seeing how often this occurs and how little is known about it and how the resources are very scarce. I'm trying to do my part to really help and promote the cause. And so our TV show is going to air on Channel 33 tomorrow morning, right after the Today Show.
What time again tomorrow?
It's at 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yeah,
Okay.
8 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because he, when he first came up, he's like, and this is the quote that stuck with me. He says, "Now, I don't know if I have the energy to try and start, a nonprofit or a charity and things like this." And then he said, "Oh no, after I got into it, this does energize me." How's he holding up as far as that regard?
Well, to be honest with you, the first show we did, this was really telling. And the first show we did was in Los Angeles, and because there was this event supporting it. And I'll never forget when he got in late at night, he's like, the insurance took away. I'm not a full-time sitter. I'm having to do. So, I mean, he was early on, angry, and it was tough. And it was really tough for him. But he's really rebounded in the last 2 or 3 years, and he's done a lot better. But there were some things that happened, that a lot of mistakes that were made that could have been a bad situation a little better, but made it worse. And so he's dealt with a lot, and he really has. But turning a negative into a positive, this nonprofit is growing. There are families from 47 states around the country that they help. And this conference, he told me ahead of time, he said, "Hey, this conference is really going to drain you." And, just interviewing these families, they're all like, "My daughter suffered in a car accident or a drowning incident." It's just on and on and on. And these families have nowhere to go, nowhere to turn to. And this is one of the few nonprofits in the country that does it to this extent. And so, again, that's where I think, like Dr. Phil, he's like, "Man, this needs to get out there." And it's good because the awareness is the key thing. And the more it builds up and the more it's out there, the more aware people will be about it and maybe donate and help and support it.
Is he in Austin or Lubbock right now, Tony?
He just moved to Dallas.
Oh, to Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Lubbock for a long time, but in the last year he's moved to Dallas.
And all this, Charlie, when raising 2 other kids, so.
Can't imagine
actually
the challenge.
3.
I'm sorry, 3? Okay, okay.
Yeah, 3 kids. Yeah, and at the time, the sad part about it, the kid was 8 years old when this happened, and he had 2 daughters, 12 and 13, and an older daughter around 20. And again, I've done 3 shows on this, and each time you just walk away, it just zaps you of so many different things.
So, Team Luke, how can we, outside the show, people kind of get more educated about it and maybe help support Tony?
Well, if you go to Team Luke Hope for Minds page, you can, there's a lot of information. You can donate, you can do whatever. And then also on my page is the show. If for people that don't see it tomorrow, that at the end there's I think did you watch it, Jimmy? At the end they basically said, "Hey, here's where you can donate," and things like that. So so it's there are different options and stuff, and I can share it on your page. With the link and everything as well.
There you go. Tony, to the current tennis teams right now, these teams have a chance to make a little run.
Oh yeah, the girls, man, that's you've got 2 heavy hitters, 1, 2. They can, they're right there with everybody. They had Georgia, they had match points on them. They definitely have. It seems like this year, from just kind of watching it from a distance, there's a lot of evenness, which is good. It gives them an opportunity. But Taylor's done a heck of a job there, building it up and getting some good players. So yeah, you get 2 players like that, they can beat any top 2 players in the country on a given day. And when you have that gives you a chance.
It's fun to watch, man. It's free. Go over to the tennis facility. It's right past the baseball stadium. So they rotate. The girls or boys are playing. The men or women are playing every weekend, Fridays and Sundays, in conference play. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
Well,
And Charlie,
you have a top 10
same.
matchup.
There's no etiquette in sort of college tennis. Oh no, they'll scream at you, holler, coaching in between
Quiet,
points.
please.
I mean,
That
no.
don't work.
It's kind of, it's a little bit of reminds me of like I don't know, South American countries hosting Davis Cup or something. I mean, all but the drums.
Let me tell you something real quick. When I was coaching, I was told this, the one sport that drove Commissioner Roy Kramer crazy was men and women's tennis. I mean, because it's amazing because there's so many teams. Like I think LSU's 10 in the country right now, but there may be 5 in the conference right now in rankings. So I mean, and I know it's like that but at the same time, it seems like forever. It's just, I mean, it's brutal when you're going in there. So you're trying to get any little edge you can get. And I was going to say the women play Oklahoma Sunday at 11 o'clock, a top 10 matchup. I think Oklahoma's 9 and LSU's 10, so that should be a good match.
There you go. Tomorrow we'll tune in tomorrow 8 a.m. following the Today Show. Hope Beyond the Diagnosis, hosted by Tony Minnis with Tim Siegel. Great cause. Tune in tomorrow. Tony, thank you, man. Have a good weekend.
Hey, thanks so much, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
All right. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance, Charlie. I got Total Maintenance came over to yesterday. My buddy, the technician, Steve Jarrow, was very helpful, very polite, cleaned up, went in and let's show the before and after picture. If you're cutting your grass around your units, okay, it's going to get dirty. You can't believe how dirty these things were. Got it straight. Now it's not going to break down, and it's going to run lower monthly bills, and it's only $79 instead of $179 right now. So got mine, 480-1000, 480-1000 before they really get busy. Now's the time to do it before we really lean on these units in the hot summer months.
Back to wrap it up, live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Grow your nest egg savings with a great CD rate from Home Bank for a limited time.
Who?
You there, Hanny?
Hang on a second. Going to the Saints? Yeah. I won't hate that. I mean, Shamar Stewart. I thought you said Shedeur Sanders. No, Shamar Stewart. Guy never makes a play.
I know that's what
Okay, Jordan, whenever you're ready.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hanniger. Jimmy is on vacation, but join Max and I at Walk-Ons in Brewley for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch. The finals are set in the NCAA tournament. We recap LSU and Oklahoma. Live at Lunch from Walk-Ons in Brewley, 11 a.m. Monday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, final picks. I got Florida -2.5, and I may be the only one outside of friends and family that's got Houston +5.5. Max?
I'm with you. Houston, absolutely. I think they win this game outright. I like Houston to win it all, and Auburn.
Auburn and Houston. Jimmy, who you got?
I have two dogs, Houston and chalk field tournament, but I like what I saw today in the workout with Janai Broom. He's playing. I think he's going to be close to 100%. And I mean, everybody's talking
30.
about form, but one team's covered 3 out of 4. One team's not covered 3 out of 4. So I don't put too much emphasis. If anything, I like a little revenge spot for the Auburn Tigers in this win. I love how the emergence of Denver Jones and Tahad Pettiford down the stretch as well.
Enjoy your trip. We will see you back in a week on Monday. Max and I will be at Walk-Ons in Bruley. Have a great weekend, everybody, from all of us here at Ruffino's. Jordan back in the studio. I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for.